Hi everyone, it's Carolyn from True Crime Chat with Mommy Ramblings, and I'm here to talk about the evidentiary hearing in the Scott Peterson case. So today, an evidentiary hearing that's expected to last about a week has begun. Okay, there's the juror Strawberry Shortcake, called that obviously because of her red hair, who's going to be testifying under the protection of immunity from prosecution. Her real name is Rochelle Neese. And the defense team is arguing and has argued that she lied on the juror questionnaire because she wanted to get on this jury and that she was biased against Scott Peterson. So that is what is going to be decided today. And that's his whole quest for a new trial hinges on that. Because she's under this immunity, she has to answer all the questions. She can't plead the fifth. She can't not answer things. So her testimony is going to be critical, and again, she's required to answer all the questions. The defense team has about 12 witnesses, and the prosecution has about 6. They don't have to call on all the witnesses. They may choose to call on some, not on others, but the list includes on the defense, Steve Cardosi, who was the jury foreman in the trial, Justin Falconer, who was the juror that was dismissed from the trial, Greg Baratlis, who's a juror that was on the trial, Mark Garagos, Scott Peterson's defense attorney during the trial, Shireen Anderson and Heath Orchard, executive producers and photographer for the A&E documentary called The Murder of Lacy Peterson, Johnny Dodd, a journalist, Frank Swertlow and Lyndon Stambler, co-authors of the book We Are the Jury. And now the prosecution's witnesses include Craig Grogan, the Stanislaus County District Attorney Investigator, Bill Macy, San Mateo County Senior District Attorney Inspector, Nate Wandruff, Santa Clara County Senior Criminal Investigator, Rochelle Neese, the juror number 7, Elliot Silver and Nagad Zaki, who were Neese's original attorneys. The attorneys, again, do not have to call on any or all of the witnesses. The judge has the final say in which witnesses get to testify. Ultimately, it's going to come down to 2 important questions. Was there a juror misconduct? If so, what was the degree of that? And is it enough to warrant a new trial for Scott Peterson? It's going to be up to Judge Masullo to decide that. Okay, so Scott was resentenced back in December of 2021 because the California Supreme Court threw out his death sentence back in 2020, but they allowed the conviction for the murder of Lacy and their unborn son Connor to stand. So he had to be resentenced. Since the death penalty was thrown out, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And after that hearing, that sentencing hearing, his attorney, Pat Harris, and his sister-in-law, Janie Peterson, spoke outside the courthouse. Now, his attorney, Pat Harris, maintains that the Modesto PD has botched their investigation of this case, and they solely focused in on Scott because they found out he was unfaithful and they didn't do their due diligence, and that this burglary that they're talking about, that the Modesto PD says happened on the 26th of December. The attorney says, no, it happened on the 24th. Where is your evidence that it happened on the 26th? He says he's been unable to get it and that everything was botched on that, about that case. He also said that Scott was not allowed to speak today. He said it was the decision, that's the judge's decision. And when asked what would he have wanted to say, Pat said, I think he would have wanted to talk about how he really did want this baby, because it's been talked about that he didn't want this baby. And he said that he had people that would even testify, friends, that how much he was looking forward to this. And he talked about Lama's class friends and that he had spoken with other fathers there about how they were going to dress up their boys and teach them to hunt and fish. And then he would come home during special parts of the day just to be with Lacy and Connor in utero and all of that. So that's what he said. That's according to his defense attorney. And he also added that he sees this demonization of Scott Peterson that he has seen all throughout this, where the media just reports on, things that just demonize him and nothing else. And he said he sees a continuation of that, and it's not fair because he should not be accused of the murder of his wife and child while he was convicted of that, Mr. Harris. His tearful sister-in-law, Janie Peterson, says that the truth needs to be exposed. She maintains that the Modesto Police Department focused on her brother-in-law because he was an unfaithful husband. She says that the error in jury selection is why they're there today, but the problem started when Laci went missing, and Modesto Police Department did not focus on the sightings that she was alive, but focused on Scott because he was unfaithful to his wife. She said there's no timeline or forensic evidence and maintains that Scott is innocent. She says their family's in this for the long haul. They look forward to Scott being granted a new trial where they will show he is innocent. She said that Scott is in prison. He has a heavy load to bear because he is in prison and innocent. So back to that sentencing, he was again sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And that again was for the murder of his 27-year-old pregnant wife, Lacy. And then he was sentenced to 15 years to life for the death of their unborn son, Connor, who would have turned 18 years old in the month of December 2021. Little recap, just in case you really, I shouldn't say, because I can't believe how many people didn't really follow the Jodi Arias case, so maybe some of you don't know. Laci Peterson was 8 months pregnant on Christmas Eve in 2002 when she was killed by her husband, Scott Peterson, along with their unborn son, Connor. Prosecutors said that Scott used his fishing boat to dump their bodies into the San Francisco Bay, where they were found months later. Laci's family took the stand at the resentencing. Her sister, Amy Rocha, gave an emotional statement saying, and I quote, "Because of you, Scott, our holidays have never been the same. Every Christmas Eve, I'm reminded of the nightmare. It's been 19 years, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about my sister." She choked up while giving her statement and said that she feels cheated out of a relationship with her sister, who would be 49 years old today, and her unborn son, Connor, who would be 18. "I don't know how you go on living," Amy said. And she added that she hopes Scott is punished in this life and after. Brent Rocha, Laci's brother, said it is his and his family's hope that the court gives Scott Peterson the most severe punishment to give some justice to Laci and her unborn son, Connor. Brent said that his family has been devastated and traumatized and described his sister as a vibrant young woman who was living her life to the fullest as an expectant mother. Sharon Rocha, Laci's mother, took the stand and in a steady voice called Peterson a coward and a murderer. She said she hasn't seen any remorse from Peterson, and then said, and I quote, "Your evil, self-centered, unforgivable, selfish act ended two beautiful souls. Everyone here wanted her. No matter what happens, there are two things that will never change. Laci and Connor will always be dead, and you will always be their murderer." She recalled the last time she saw her daughter before she was killed. She said that she put a hand on her daughter's pregnant belly to feel the baby move. And Laci told her mother at that time, "Scott doesn't want to feel the baby move, but he'll come around someday." "I never did feel the baby move," Sharon said. Judge Marsullo is going to have 90 days after this evidentiary hearing to render a decision that will determine whether Peterson will spend the rest of his life in prison or he will get that new trial. So, of course, we'll keep you abreast of this evidentiary hearing that, again, is slated to last about a week. And we, as always, have prayers and good thoughts for Laci's family as they have to go through this again, and pray for justice for Laci and Connor. Thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.